Hello beautiful people, welcome back to its_Gintu's channel today, and it's a very good time here coming out from this segment to say that kudos to the Lord has given us this opportunity again, so as we can just bring you this kind of a vibe today and today. So guys, I'm still at my home here looking on how my plantations are doing, and these are just the kales that I've just planted here for payment to the school fees, and the people who are just onto the village, whoever wants such kind of food, are going to be supplying onto this area, because they come one-on-one to check if I can just sometimes some come to buy, some want a little meal for a lunch, and all some want for supper. So you can never know how people are just outside here. So because guys, I talked about yesterday, I have a much of the history to tell, because much of the times I take much of my time looking at my village on how things are just moving. I talked about I want to be having much of the time to talk about the guys who are here who cannot even accommodate their standards of living unto themselves, so they depend on other people. Like I talked about, we have some people who are paralyzed and some have stroke unto the village, and sometimes I do get some kales from this position, and I send them to I send such kind of the kales or kind of the foodstuffs to them, so as they can at least get a little meal for them, and say that even the environment accommodates them, because we have the same ecosystem. So guys, I'm going to be talking about we have much of the history for the people talking about there's a person who texted that commented on my yesterday video that scam alert. I don't know which kind of whoever told you that I want money from that guy, because some people want maybe to detonate other people, so as maybe I can be some people can just take out me, I am just a very bad guy maybe. So because the only thing that we can ever expose is one, Maro is the God always, so is the greatest of all times, so there's no one can ever compete with himself with him, because even me, I never had any confrontation with Maro. Even he was not there while I was not while I was just getting out from the field. So the term that I used, that I want to be having a name called Gintu Foundation, it was to embrace, because I have done much of my works to different positions of the government, including there's one of the biggest talk about it's the biggest kind of an area which is a fund. You can talk about let me talk about it's like a big company that was brought here via the United States. So it's called a Kenya Relief Organization. Exactly, it's an organization, NGO, so it's called Kenya Relief Organization. So whenever I was doing my catering and accommodation, and I went I got my much of the experience from Nairobi, I came back and I went to search for a job. Then they gave me a job, so as I can just cook for the white people. We call them the Wazungus, so you can just get that one. So during that time, guys, I can just experience much of I can explain much of the things that do happened there, because we were doing work 1 week after every 1 week. We were doing work, because the organization is so big, because they had a school, they had a hospital, which is a very big hospital, started in 2005 there. And also I can talk about that institution. It has a school, it has a hospital, it has an area which accommodates the people who don't have parents, which is the orphanage. It has an orphanage inside there, and the institution alone, it's based on it, because the offices are there. So during that time, guys, I was part of the 3 biggest chief chefs who were working with a squad called Team's Kitchen, which was involved with the Wazungus who were coming from outside to Kenya, and they were coming after every 1 week. Every 1 week. So we do our work 1 week, the other week it's just like going and pausing a little bit. But that 1 week, it was an experience of like 1 month, because I can just remember I was waking up at 4 in the morning, maybe that day I'm just subjected to a breakfast, which is tart. I'll just deal with tarts, or I'll deal with desserts. And maybe luncheon, I'm at garde manger, which is just maybe entrementier, or I'm in vitamin, or I'm in pastry. So you can never know which position that day. So whenever we're just performing such kind of the things and to that institution, it came a time where you could not, even that's why you never saw me posting some videos. Maybe I could open my channel there because we had many of the Wazungus there, but there were no contact with them. So I can just remember that time, because the institution now, it was exercised in let's talk about a dictatorial way, because the person who was there as the CEO, and it was assigned to the manager, who was called now the president, because that institution was brought from the US. So whenever it was constructed in Kenya, we had much of the time to experience that they sent someone who will represent the school. But that representative was called a president during that time. And I can just talk about after that now, the president now reallocated his son from the United States, whereby he talked about he was from the New York. Then whenever they came to Kenya, he was now the CEO, new CEO in that institution. And the others, local ones, like people who have just landed, because you have to send your CV. The HR was a black one, which is just a Kenyan, and the other entire, because we had them coming. So whenever we were just performing much of the things there, I can just say that we had one biggest aim of, it was called Kenya Night. During that time, you know, the Wazungus, or the Europeans, the white guys, they were the biggest ceremony was just done so as they can just experience much of the vibe, like the foods, the natural foods of here, the cultural foods, even the cultural dances, and also intervene with their sponsored kids, because sometimes they come as the sponsors, some come for teaching practices, some come for hospitality. So they were coming in different moods and in different ways. So everyone has his own way or his own thing that brought him here or her here. So we can just find that they come 40, sometimes they come 20, sometimes they come 15, sometimes they come 10. Even sometimes, even the doctorate, whenever I talk about the doctorate, the people are just the surgeons, mostly they were coming, and it was done for free. And that's why I love that institution, and I went and looked for the job there. So there's a day, now the story comes from this position. The other ones were just science. So now the story comes from here. As I've just talked about the institution, how it was run. So people started complaining, oh, the institution is bringing this, is bringing that, is bringing some things that are not even equivalent to the people. Why is it that the only people are just serving the European guys? Why are they having much of the salary? Why are they having much of the leisure? Because I can just experience this way that maybe they never being into that, because I was waking up at 4 and sleeping around 23 hours. So it was a work of more than 18 hours per day. So during that week, it was a very big process, because maybe it was doing some samosas during the breakfast, maybe cooking some green banana, making chapari, having tarts, you know, sometimes cakes. So, you know, whenever we talk about these Europeans, for the people who want to know much, because I knew that for the white guys here, that's why I knew that if it's coffee, you have to prepare coffee. It has to be coffee. If you decide that this tea, it has to have sugar, you should put sugar. If it's salt, you use salt. Not that you are just putting something. If it's using red pepper or any pepper, it's use of pepper, whether black, whether red, whether green, put them. So that's why I knew about such kind of the experience from the field of the Kenya relief. And now this story comes whereby the US government started getting some complaints. I don't know who was sending. And during that time, that's why they never wanted any contact with such kind of the people who are coming here as visitors. And I can just talk about if you could just be, one can spot you exchanging numbers, it's your dead day, because you'll be chased from that institution, because they don't want any leakages to leak from that institution to outside. So, the US government sent one of the spies, but he was a student from Nairobi University. He was a friend of mine. Even I never knew that, because the guy came, he was a young man. He was a first year graduate. He had graduated during that year. So he was oriented such kind of a very, very, very big job, so as he can come and perform at that institution. So he came and searched for attachment. It was not attachment? Yeah, first he started with the like attachment, so as they can see if he's just doing well. So whenever he was just doing that, he came and he was enrolled as an HR, assisting HR to show, so you know that work of attachment in HR, human resource. So he was doing there two, three things. Then he talked about, oh, now I've finished my attachment. Now he was employed, so as he can help the HR, because he was the genius, guys, because he was performing better. So he came as a trick, that attachment, and internship too. So after internship, then he was enrolled as a, so during that, now before he could be subjected to having much of the time to sign the treaties and something like that, so he was a spy. So even the HR was relaxed, because now he has got somebody who is very intellectual and top-notch in terms of computer system. So he never knew what he just there for. So he just tried to do things very neatly. Then the HR was in good terms with that guy. Even the CEO was good in terms with that guy. They were leaving their laptops there. He was good in terms of computing. So I can just explain that that guy, they never knew how he came and how he came, but he was talking about, oh, I'm a university, but he came with the second year, that he was in second year. So the last time he talked to me, I was on duty, and it was on Thursday. You know, they talk about the visitors who always come there. They leave on Thursday morning to Nairobi, then they fly out of the country. So during that day, now it was on Thursday, I was doing some cleanliness to the kitchen premises, you know, something like that. Then the guy came and told me, hey bro, you know, now this area is now too much, so I want to see my parents at home, and I want to do some 2-3 things. And I talked to that guy, hey, who are you, bro? Because everyone is now very gentleman. You are now good in terms of computer and everything. So why are you leaving this institution? He told me, bro, shh, I came for a mission. That was the word he told me. And he told me, shh. He was a good friend of mine. Very good friend. I cannot just reveal the name. He was a very good guy of me. So I can just talk about whenever the guy went, after 2 days, only 2 days, you know, guys, whenever people come to an institution, some people are coming to sponsor, they come with very big luggages, like bags. Those ones that you can just, they have some tires, you can pull them and you can walk with them. They're big cases, exactly. So whenever they come here, some people have that intention that I have a kid to come and sponsor. He puts some luggages the way I am Marwa. You can just remember when the kids for Percy were being sponsored. The guy came with a case, briefcase, then it has compacted some things that you brought to that guy. So they take those things out, they take those bags and go. They had talk about very big shops. So during that time, whenever those bags come, they are transferred back, because there's no white guy can come from America with an old one. So all of them were brand. So they wash them a little bit, because, you know, something like that very quickly. There were more than even 20 bags, maybe 30 bags. Even me, one day, I just exercised myself that I want to have... So I exercised myself that maybe I want to get one bag. Then I went to that guy. I was a very good chief chef, and service, you know, guys, I've done about chief chefing. You can just cook for you, serve you, and also accommodate you at the same time. So during that time, whenever I'm on duty on Thursday, because there's no one, no much of the helter-skelter here and there, you know, it's just washing some premises. You cook for the CEO, serve the guy. Maybe we have some of 2-3 visitors who are there, because sometimes we had visitors who come for like 2 months, 1 month. Maybe they have a program to run. Maybe they have been sent via the institution from the US. So you can never know the intention of everyone. So I was just doing my work, then I go and serve and do some things. So one day I went to the person who was hosting some of the Europeans from the US, and I told the guy, oh, now can I get one bag, the briefcase? Because you know, that time I was a local man. Now I could just hustle, you know, that kind of I could hustle. So the guy told me, no, you have to bring money, because these bags are for the kids who are just the orphans here. But I never saw it was not in that same manner, because one day my fellow chef told me, oh, let's go to a certain town here, then we go do some shoppings and something like that. So whenever we were just walking towards a walking distance to the town, then we were just rushing there. Then he told me, hey, do you know that boutique? I talked about, hey, which kind of a boutique? It had very fantastic clothes, fantastic youth, fantastic things ever possible. So I was, hey, it's so big. They have so good briefcase, very big, small, very fantastic. Because someone, if like me, I want to travel to the US, I have to look for the neatest briefcase so as I can travel with it. So you know that people, even people who are just watching, you know, whenever you want to reallocate yourself, you know how you just go and search for very beautiful briefcases. So they were the ones that the guys who are coming with them to Kenya. So you can just experience that. So those briefcases were taken to a boutique. Then they were resold again to the local civilians. So the kids there, you know, sometimes you can never know what's happening, because they think about, oh, they're sponsored, they will be left with something, 2-3 things. Guys, I can just experience this because I've done work in NGOs, and I know how people are just suffering outside here. So that's my aim was about not only to do such kind of the things, because even me, one day I exchanged a number. Now the point comes here. One day I exchanged number with one of the Mzungu. He told me, oh, I like how you are just preparing chapari. You know how to just deal with chaparis here. So I can just tell you the ingredients that I was always using, because there's one day I cooked chapati, then they were served. They were hospitalian people, they were doctors and surgeons doing some operations there. And I can just reveal this. These guys are so fantastic because they go with time. I like that. I like that because time matters. When they talk about 6 in the morning, they have to get breakfast. It's 6 in the AM in the morning. If it's talking about if it's lunchtime, maybe it's 11. It's 11. That's the fact. If talk about the dinner, it's coming very early. Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 6 in the evening. That is the specific time. I like you guys. I like you very much. And even they had it's called an extended, which is just having some coffee during the night sessions, or anyone has his own opportunity to look for whatever I need. So I can just reveal that that day I cooked chapatis. You know, it started sauteing chapatis. Then I just brought them to attention. So as they talked about, oh, tomorrow it was on the next day was, you know, they come on Friday. Then they caught my chapati. They thought, oh, is this guy who is making this kind of chapatis? I was just using baking flour, using carrots. It was called a vegetable chapari. I was best in that institution, and they liked it because that was the menu that was reading, and I was the only person who could perform such kind of the meticulous job I ever postponed. Fantastic. So one of the group of certain ladies, I don't know if they are married. I can never know, because you can never know the history of an individual guy, how he is. So they told me, who is this guy? They talked about the big chef. Oh, the big chef. Oh, come, we want to talk to you. Then they came and they asked the guy, who is this guy who has sauteed this kind of chapati? The guy told about, oh, we have one of the chefs there. So call that guy. So the head chef came and called me and talked about, oh, go and talk to them, but in one condition: never exchange numbers. That was the deal. I was, you know, guys, everyone outside here wants to move from one position to another. Whenever you just limit some people's work, so it is not fair sometimes. So whenever I reached there, they told me, oh, you are the chief chef? Oh, what's your name? I talked to Samson Gintus Ghana. Then those ladies told me, oh, tomorrow we'll be with you. Tomorrow I'm going to cook some chapatis. I talked about, yes, during the luncheon time. So that day was during the supper or the dinner time. So the next day it was on lunchtime edition. I could cook some chapatis. So they talked about, oh, tomorrow we are coming. So as you can now see how we are just doing some 2-3 things. So I can just remember the name of that lady. She was called Christina, yeah, exactly. So it was so jovial to anyone. So he liked me that time. So he talked about, I'm coming to learn more about how you experience, how you do some things. So I was, oh, thank you very much. So tomorrow you come. So I was very early. In the morning I did some preparations, then I finished, then lunchtime edition now. So I was very ready for the lunch, and then I called them. They came and we started from kneading flour, putting this, putting that, you know, this and this, and then you knead, then you table it, then you just cut small into rolling, then you start rolling them, then you saute. So during that time, I can just feel that they were so enjoyable because they wanted to know how to knead, you know, something like that, kneading, knock back. If sometimes you want to knock back, sometimes you want to knead. So everything was experienced. So I left them so they can exercise themselves. Then when it reached that time of now rolling and making now the chapatis, so it was now laughter in that kitchen, because you can just do this, then it looks like my head. Some look like something like a goat's head. So everyone has his own way of just, maybe some can just look like this leaf. You can find a chapati looking like this. So like this way, exactly the way this leaf is. So you find that it was not smooth, and it was not getting round, because a round thing is making a decency in a manner that even you can just spot it and say, oh, it looks so fabulous and so meticulous. I can just confirm this. Even the shape matters, guys, whenever you come to kitchen premises. So we were laughing. He was telling me, hold my hands. Then I just show the guy how to roll it simultaneously, and also it was an enjoyable day. And the guy told me, now I'm going to exchange numbers. We're going to be chit-chatting, so as you can send me, I'll give you my number. He gave me her number and told me it was now that the same day. The CEO came and told them, no, I don't want people to this kitchen to you know, sometimes you need a very early lunch, and so whenever you are here, maybe lunch will not come out well. Then whenever they left, he told me, never associate with this kind of the whites. I don't like that habit. So I never knew. Maybe they gave me a request, and it's called an opportunity, so as I can give them or reveal. So during now the Kenya night, it was done on Wednesday, every Wednesday night. So as they celebrate the culture of food, it was served from the soup in the morning to the dessert and squatches. So it was a buffet. You know how a buffet is. From the soup, which was mostly we always prepared pumpkin soup. We had ugali, we had rice, which steamed rice, vegetable rice, anyone that everything was in the lineup, every kind of meat. Even we were talk about grilling. We were grilling goats and chicken. I can tell you that. So it was that day we started preparing supper around noontime, 12, the noontime. We start preparing supper. Whenever it reaches around 6, now we are about to finish everything, so as we can get to the main event room and arrange every food there. So whenever we reach there, they start, thank you very much, guys, whoever is here, get the food, eat, and something like that. So they appreciate the chefs and something like that. So you can just find at the tip, you'll be given maybe 500 shillings, maybe 1,000 sometimes. So you can never know. I was a very small chef. During that time, I was the third chef, because I got the 2. So I was getting maybe 500, maybe 1,000 as a tip. So after now the finishing, because during that day, I will just sleep on Thursday, then I come back home, because now my shift is over. Then I get home here for 1 week, then I go back. So during that time, the CEO, the big chef now, is called the head chef, told me, no, Gintu, tomorrow you will just go and assist the chefs who are in the kitchen of the students' kitchen. Then you help them because one of the chef is sick, so you'll just go there. So today sleep here, tomorrow make some cleaners to the team's kitchen, then you'll just shift to the other kitchen for only one day, then you leave. So, oh yes, no problem. So I went. Then whenever I was just at the corridors, I found Christina. Pop! Yeah, man. I was, oh my God, she's here. So she told me, oh, Gintu, where are you? Come. Samson, you call me Samson. Samson, where are you? Come. Not knowing the CEO is on top. She took a paper, then she wrote her number and gave it to me and told me, give me the receipt of chapatis. Write me a receipt, then you send me via the WhatsApp. Then I was, thank you very much, Lord, thank you very much. Things gonna be fantastic. So I got there, grabbed the paper, then I put it into my... The next day I was now it was being arranged now. I'll shift to the other kitchen. I was told now, no. Why did you exchange? I saw you exchanging numbers. It was the head chef who came to me. Gintu, what did you do? Why did you exchange numbers? I talked about why. How did I exchange numbers? The lady gave me a paper that had a number so as I can send the receipt. I was told, no. We don't exchange numbers here. You could have refused. So what about you? Whoever is just getting this kind of the conversation I'm giving out. If it was you, what could you do? I was told now there's no more. There's no exchanging numbers. And I never asked for that number. The lady gave me the number and told me, send me the receipt. Even I told the office, call even that lady. Tell her, did we exchange numbers? The only thing I told them, even that number I had already copied to the phone. Then I took the number. This is the number. Get the number. Even it was 1 hour from that time we exchanged. Then they told me, no, give us your phone. I gave them my phone. They searched that number. It was not there because I had texted it to the other number of my home. So I knew that it will bring some problems. So whenever I texted it home, then I just erased that text. Then they took my phone to the computer system searching for that number. They never got it. Then they took that paper and teared it and put it to the file. So they never wanted anyone to expose that activities that are going on inside there, because even the United States knew the salaries that people, the wages that these guys are paying, it's the same to what the people at the US. Because whenever these NGOs come to like Kenya here, it's like now people from Kenya going there to work for the NGOs. So whenever they come here, it's an opportunity. So as even you can do what? You can come here and earn as the same way as you can just go to the US. But here, we were paid as local as the way, 300 shillings per day, maybe 400 shillings per day, 500 shillings per day, exactly. So you can never know what was happening that time. So that's how things were just running. So I was just told now, go home a little bit, then we will call you. Then after 1 week, then they called me, come for work. Then I went for the work, but I was disgusted with it. So that guy now, the spy, went back to Nairobi after 3 days. It was then after 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks. Now we were in Kenya night again during Wednesday time. So we were just preparing some food, but everyone is, even our head chef was this way. It was like, that day I was free, because sometimes whenever working in the kitchen, you hear them talking about, go here, bring this, why are you doing this? You know the head chefs, guys. Why are you doing this? That day I was very free. I was doing whatever I want, the way I want, sitting down. That day everyone was this way. No, I never knew what was happening. So I asked one of my, the chef who was a little bit my colleague, what's happening? Why is everyone this way? He told me, oh, you don't know, the CEO is disqualified from this institution. I was, what? He talked about, I don't know who has talked to and it was the talk about the instruction came from the US with an immediate effect. And I like that effect from the US. whoever you are, they talked about should vanish from that institution and should not sleep in that institution until further notice. We do an investigation. Even that in organization, it had a police station that they just, you know, the US government, like security, they had already constructed a police camp at the compound there. So the same police who were taking charges and taking some of responsibility from the CEO, they were the people subjected to tell him, get out. And the CEO never slept to that institution that day, and they never get out with even a laptop. So I was, what? Now, even the Kenya night, it was performed, no CEO. People were crying, the hosts, the people were just taking some bags. People were doing very bad things to that institution. So it was corrupt institution. There's no way there's no corruption in Kenya, mostly. Even the US government, why did it send some spies to come? Because even everyone has to be monetized sometimes. So for the people talking about maybe things gonna be very bad outside here, I'm talking about the foundation will be helping the needy at the society. Because I heard that even Christina, I can talk about the Christina one, who I took a number. I told Christina during that time, it was in 2020, 2021, 2022, exactly, even 2023, I can just remember, during the January, February, I hope so there, not even around August. I just talked to Christina and talked about, oh, you know, this organization. He told me, I knew everything. Whenever he came there, even right now, guys, the way I'm just speaking, no visitors are coming from the US. The chef I was working with, because I told them, now there's no need because the visitors now are not coming, so which work am I going to do? So everyone was disgusted. Oh, now the CEO is out, now what is this? So you can never know what's happening. So for me, I had that intention that one day I'll have a foundation that even will help people, like something very good, because I was annoyed sometimes to see the good bags, the cases comes and they are going to the shops. What about, those are the bags that you can even see. What about money? What about things that are brought here? That organization, it had corrupt already. So this story comes whereby I can just reveal that sometimes we have to have extra mind. As me, I can just reveal that sometimes I have to extra mile, because I see my village is not going well, because even male people, let me talk about, even right now, it's a windy season. There's malaria attack. There is, people are suffering from cancers, maybe breast cancer, cervical cancer, every blood cancer. Some have stroke, some have paralyzed at the video, some are aged, they cannot even walk. One day I'll just do such videos so as you can even see from the village wherever I talk. Sometimes people are paralyzed, even they cannot speak. The only thing you hear is the only thing is coming out is saliva from everywhere. And he was the person who was walking. I was seeing that guy walking. So we have much time to reveal ourselves and change ourselves and change the society too. But to Ayamaro is always a GOAT, greatest of all times. So we can never go in something that is not even rampant. So sometimes we talk about thank you very much, Maro, for the support always you giving us, and always is there. So maybe one day you'll see me there, because no one is in good times or is in bad times with Ayamaro, because no one chased Mara, never chased me from there. We had some miscellaneous challenges, me and Congrats Mom. That's why I just kicked out myself, because of some miscellaneous challenges. So that's how things are running outside here. For guys, it was a little story that you could just get it, and I hope you have enjoyed. As you are watching the video from wherever you are, welcome back, and I'll just say that kudos to you and respect such of the times. And these scales now, they are a little bit, you can just remember the other days they were a little bit smaller by now, and the rain has started a little bit small, and now it's now being like 2 weeks. Now it will be ready to be compacted to the school, because I pay some fees. I told you guys I'm paying some fees for the orphan guy who is just living at my home here, and that's why I just get some encouragement, because if you see from the top side there, I have some kills from the top. to the bottom of this side here, and I think they can just serve much of the people, and even the society, whoever wants some maybe you want a little bit of the kales for cooking for the children or something like that, I do offer. And even other things that do come are gonna be helping each other to move forward as a team. For the people who want maybe to come to me so as or can just engage for the fundraising and making sure that everyone is put in a way that is straightforward, so we can just combine and say the efforts always together like one. So this is the end of this video coming out from this segment. Keep it watching, keep it tuned, and keep it vibing. So always keep it in locked.